I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo prefilled syringe, which contains F-gartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART MyWay.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by argenx.
Introducing Home Care Plus, a new subscription service from Lowe's that helps make life easier by giving members a hand with home maintenance. Let Lowe's tackle the tasks you keep meaning to do, like electric dryer vent cleaning, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs, and more. Subscribe to Home Care Plus for just $99 a year and consider your to-do list done. Members get more at Lowe's. Available in select zip codes only. Cancel anytime. Non-refundable fee. Product purchase required. Terms and service restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for checking us out this week as we continue to use our giant robots in the future. As we play Lancer. Yes, you got to add the B-Borps.
Yeah. It ain't a giant robot.
What's going on? What's going on, man? We had we're hanging out on Haunted Island, and then all of a sudden, all heck broke loose. They should call this Heckin' Island.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, maybe the heck was haunted.
Yeah, just like run in.
Haunt your heck.
Run in, get a pistol. Island's haunted.
Always has been.
Yeah. Right. So, our heroes found themselves in the middle of kind of a disaster, really an attack, right? And although they are out of danger, there is still a lot going on. For one, the two mechs that attacked last time
on critical hit
were pretty big, and so just physically caused a lot of damage. One of them had a kind of an automatic rifle, and so punched a lot of holes in a lot of buildings. But more importantly, there was one with a flamethrower. And the thing is that although they seem to have it as much under control as they can, a flamethrower on a mech is designed to generate fire hot enough to melt through a mech, right? Which are usually very heavily armored. Like the fire brigade here is primarily equipped to deal with things like electrical fires, right? Like fires that were started accidentally and thus have like various amounts of fuel depending on where on a building that starts or whatever, as opposed to, being provided a bunch of like super high grade ultra combustible fuel.
Napalm.
Yeah, pretty much. So Hercynia disapproved. So it's a problem. They are keeping it from spreading, but basically all the buildings that caught on fire are probably, you guys can figure this out by looking at the progress of it, are probably going to be a loss. Like there's no way that they're going to be able to salvage any of those buildings. Like they're going to have to like tear them down and rebuilding, assuming that there's much left to tear down. You guys are now on the safe side of the barricade that has been built to keep civilians out of the area. There are troops moving in, mostly as search and rescue. The mechs that were fighting the enemy mechs are now walking away, like basically kind of getting into a bit of a formation and walking off. There are some rescue mechs coming in, mostly these big like quadruped size 2, so like 30 feet tall kind of mechs that have been modified specifically to contain fires and to basically house a bunch of kind of like firefighters with like pulleys attached to their belts that can like basically rappel down from the mech. So like the mech can just walk up to a building and they can just jump directly onto a window, that sort of thing, to get people out. There's only about 3 of those. The radius of destruction is not huge, right? It's only about maybe if you think about like a full block as a square, it's maybe only about 6 blocks. Not like a 6-block radius, but like only about 6 blocks were affected. They were really affected, but it didn't go much past that. So the majority of the city is still, unharmed, except maybe psychologically. As you guys sort of spot each other, if you hadn't managed to actually meet up or whatever, you all hear or feel, or however you have it set up, your personal devices go off. Basically, you're getting a call, like all of you at once. Beep, 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 beep.
We all press our data pads at the same time.
You guys all connect, and you hear, "Hello, pilots. This is Absab.
Absab.
Hi, Absab.
Please hold for red iron.
Holding.
Gentlemen,
Yes, sir.
sound off."
Yes.
You could
My
just
code name here.
He's
Hold
mostly just checking to see like how you are, so you could say
Sure.
Yeah.
MLT00 Chameleon checking in, doing well.
Impact standing by.
Tucson's here.
Bandwidth's here. Doing good.
Dr. B's is available.
All right. Well, we're getting some intelligence in. Looks like you were pretty close to a bit of a battle. How close were you?
I melted a mech.
Under?
Oh.
I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
I see.
I
In
pretty
the
much
rubble.
saw the mechs arrive.
Right. Well, that's to me that's not surprising, but we are going to because the you're sort of under the auspice of the local Navy forces. I need you to stay where you are, and Warrant Officer Goldstein, if you, I believe that's who you've been dealing with. She's on her way. She's going to try to meet up with you and do some assessments. Try to keep a low profile otherwise.
Specialty.
Will do.
Roger, Roger.
All right. We'll send you further instructions afterwards.
Wonder what that's about.
I figure they're just trying to evacuate us from this situation.
Maybe see if we learned anything that we shouldn't.
Oh, you mean why'd they attack us?
Yep, they attacked us.
Yeah.
Didn't seem we were particularly being targeted, although it does seem to be quite the coincidence.
Oh, they were saying something about this wasn't the first that had happened. It's just the first time they tried this particular stunt.
I see.
Timing still seems a little suspicious.
Yeah. Definitely some stuff I got to look into here. Are they still keeping us out of the affected areas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty, like, very much. Like, you, to get back in, you guys would have to, like, give me some rolls.
See.
It's not like, there's people milling around and there's some commotion, but they're being very effective about keeping people out of the danger zone now that they've established a perimeter.
Well,
As you're looking around, you definitely hear a couple of Union Navy guys who are not on duty. One of them's like kind of has his arm around the other one, kind of helping him walk. He, like, got injured. He already has like some like first aid applied to his leg. And one of them's like the one that's not injured tells the other one's like, okay, so what did you see? And it's like, dude, there was a guy with just a mortar, like just a guy with a mortar, and he was shooting grenades at the mech. He's like, but he was like in a mech, right? Like he was like in a small mech. And he's like, no. Like, was he in a hard suit? He's like, no. And they just kind of wander away from me.
yeah, I'm just gonna casually turn around and walk the other direction.
As you do, you see, we'll say that definitely, like Chameleon gets gets an uncomfortable sensation, because he realizes that authority figures are pointing in his direction.
Oh, I turn around. Those guys are pointing at us. I think we either need to leave or we could cooperate. My guess is we should leave.
My guess is that it's Goldstein asking people to look around for us.
Oh, it is. She's kind of short. You didn't see her at first. She's asking if people have seen you and probably given them your descriptions. But once they point her over, she starts making her way over. It's kind of slow going because people are milling around here a lot. But she finally gets up. Unless you guys are like skitooey and like running away from her or anything. Okay.
No, just this is fine.
That does kind of sound like fun.
Yeah. So once again, let me see. So Rebecca Goldstein, she's wearing a gray uniform with black and white epaulets. But again, these are like the sort of like kind of like small decorative epaulets. I guess all epaulets are decorative, but you know what I mean? She doesn't have like huge dangly ones. They're just like, I think the Marines and like the Navy still have just sort of like these like sort of epaulette reminiscent kind of things. So that sort of thing. She's got some insignia. She's short. She's thin. She's got light skin, brown eyes, very curly hair. She's wearing an officer's cap this time, and she makes her way to you and says, "Guys, are you okay?"
Yeah,
I think I'm good. Bees, you doing all right?
Okay. That was because, if something had happened to you here, that would be bad.
Why is that?
Because you're extremely valuable assets.
Oh, I thought because we would cause some kind of international incident or something.
I mean, not here. The international incident was caused by those guys, but Union's not really welcome here. Follow me. Union's not really welcome here, so I suppose this is just one ongoing international incident. So we're going to go over to the medical tent for military personnel, and you're going to get checked out. And then once you get checked out, we're going to hear from your command and see what they want you to do.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. It doesn't take very long. It is kind of on the other side of this camp. The medical tent, you guys saw the other one go up. The other one is huge. This one is much more conservative. You could probably fit like 30 people tops in this like little pavilion that they've put up. The other one can hold like more than 100 people easily with like equipment and beds or whatever. This one is a lot smaller. There is someone sitting right outside it. They're a Navy officer, Warrant Officer Goldstein salutes. The other guy salutes. She says, I have some personnel here that needs to be checked out, and she holds out a small data pad. The other guy looks at it and nods and pulls the flap of the tent for you guys to enter. Warrant Officer Goldstein enters. I should have given her a smaller title or last name. That's okay. You guys walk in, and here there are several medical staff, along with maybe 5 patients. You guys do spot one person who seems to be unconscious. He's kind of pale, short guy, dark hair. You can't see his mustache right now because he's wearing like a breathing mask. He's got some bad burns. Do you guys remember meeting somebody who matched that description? It's been a long time, but maybe some of you took some notes.
Yes.
I do not have.
Does not ring a bell.
If you don't remember him, it's perfectly reasonable that the events that happened afterwards have kind of wiped that from your memory, so that's fine. You are each guided to a they're like medical cots, right? Like
Yeah.
they could like be raised and lowered. They lower it for you to sit, raise it back up, and a couple of Navy doctors and or nurses will check you guys out. Basically, all of you have some cuts and bruises, but Dr. B's has mildly tore something on his back. So again, once they pull at it, get your shirt off to check. If you have like a big, ugly, kind of spready bruise there. They put a patch on it that has like some anti-inflammatories and some analgesics. That's pronounced Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Do so.
All right. And the other one that gets some amount of treatment is Tucson, whose hands are really messed up. They come by, they actually take him over to a sink, like to carefully wash them and remove any like rocks or pebbles or dust. Like carefully pat them dry. Spray some disinfectant onto them, and then give them a pair of like kind of funny looking elbow high mittens, like medical mittens.
Oh.
Alas.
As you guys are waiting, you get Lewis and Dr. Apis get a message. Beep, 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 boop.
Check it.
Okay. It's a text, and it is from a classified source, which you guys immediately recognize as the Moon Liberator team. By the way, you guys know that that's what MLT stands for. That's why your code names are MLT.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
I thought it was a mayonnaise, lettuce, and tomato.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Those are my
Not
favorite.
button?
Which is also good.
You would eat sheep.
So, the two of you get a message that is like, return to base immediately for medical treatment.
Hey, Impact, can you push the button right here for me? It doesn't seem to read through my mittens.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Says here
I
you're
got-
being called back.
Yep.
Well, that ain't good.
Yeah, Doc's not going to be happy with this.
Yep.
Uh,
She's good.
Once you guys are not like kicked out of the tent. There's like a little kind of resting area, and you guys are allowed to stay there for some amount of time, although people do keep coming into the tent. But you guys get another call from Absab.
I have Zeb.
Go for
Hello. Please hold for Red Iron.
Roger.
Gentlemen,
Hello.
Yes, sir.
we are assessing the damage. First off, I don't know if you've received a message from Dr. Mondragon, but she wants
A couple of us to return
Pease and
immediately.
Tucson to return for treatment. Yes. The rest of you have basically two options. Right now, we are having some issues, so we have somewhat narrower windows to get you in and out. And this incident certainly didn't help. So either the remaining three of you can either come back with Dr. Beats and Tucson, or you can stay here and help the ongoing volunteer effort in whatever way. If you do, please report to a union representative using your cover and volunteer. They are almost certainly going to have you in not a search and rescue operation, but what people don't understand is that logistically, this sort of thing takes a lot of people. They're going to need people to do like file things, keep track of people, ladle soup, right? That's a very important job to do in a situation like this. So if any of you want to stay and help, you certainly can. Otherwise, return to base with Tucson and Dr. Bees. Any questions?
No, sir.
Well,
All right.
Negative.
I will send you the time for pickup, and Warrant Officer Goldstein will drive you to the pickup location. Good day.
What do we think, fellas?
I mean, I'm good with helping out down here. That's what I do a lot of back home.
Mm-hmm.
But, if there's one thing that I've learned is when you're out with your team, that unless there's a good reason for it, your team should always stick together.
Kind of in the same boat. I feel like the three of us might be of help, but not nearly enough help to offset what might happen if we're not in the right place at the right time.
Right.
Really fortunate we were in the right place at the right time today.
Yeah,
Helped a lot of folks get out.
Sure, that place wasn't looking for us, but
still feel like it didn't seem like too much of a targeted assault. If they were gunning for us specifically, they probably would have, I think.
Yeah, you guys remember the
bigger mix.
Yeah, you guys remember the messages they were playing?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a
I
while.
remember them quite vividly.
Yeah, pretty sure it's more of just a shock and awe operation.
There was some kind of group named the Silver Thatch. I think this is what they call themselves.
The Steel Thatch.
The Steel Thatch.
Which it makes sense for Tucson to not have, like Tucson might not know anything about them, so that could have been an in character, like slight error.
And then they were calling everybody Soltrox.
Sotrox.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, not happy about it. Culture war nonsense. But yeah,
You had to run in with these folks before?
You could say that I am a Sotrox.
No, I meant the Steel Thatch.
Have I?
not an actual run-in. You've definitely guys.
Yeah.
Guys who are who's actually right. This jerk influencer person who is always going on about how Wadners are being substituted by other groups
Those
that maybe don't deserve it. Yeah.
Yeah, not necessarily a run-in per se, but I'm familiar with the rhetoric, and I got to tell you, first time I heard it, I was already tired.
Yeah, makes sense.
I didn't realize they had this kind of firepower. Then again, I guess who doesn't?
There does seem to be a lot of folks running around in various sized frames lately. Well, I guess keep them in mind. If we run into them again, we'll know what to expect.
Yeah. What do you think, Essen? Should we stay or should we go?
I mean, personally, I'd rather get back up to base and look into some stuff. But, I mean, I understand if you guys want to stick around and help with the relief effort. I guess I'd probably stick around for the sake of the, cover story.
Sounds like we're 3 for 3. We're all kind of leaning towards going back, and you know what they say. It's not a party till you split it. Or something like that. I don't remember. But
I thought that was a banana.
What do you think? Chameleon, we should all go back?
Sure. Whatever you decide.
Whatever I decide?
Sure, whatever the group decides.
Oh, I think it's anonymous then. Where's our ride?
Okay. You guys are given a location to be at. It is in the outskirts of the city. It's a bit of a walk.
All right.
Well, it looks like we finally get to take that hike I was looking to do.
Oh boy.
Better late than never, I suppose.
How's your back? You up to this?
Yeah.
I mean, we could probably engineer a litter. I'm sure Tucson or I could give you a bit of a lift if we needed to.
I can walk.
All right.
All right. Once you guys make your way out of the tent and start walking towards the edge of the city, once again, Chameleon gets that weird sense that somebody's pointing at him.
I look around.
Yeah. There are some of those guys in those weird robes you guys saw earlier with the masks.
Oh, sure.
Like black robes, wooden masks. Except these guys, both robes and masks are really singed. And you realize they're not pointing at you. Once you look over at them, they're pointing at Tucson.
Tucson, those guys are pointing at you? Are they coming our way?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll wave at them with a mitten.
Okay. They come over to you and they say, the lead one says, "Were you injured?"
Not much. I just, put more bandages on than you know what to do with.
Well, we appreciate your help.
It was my honor.
We greatly praise the people of Traveler. And he kind of turns away from you, and the one behind him hands him something, and then he holds it up for you. It is hard to describe as anything else but a horrid wooden effigy of some sort of monster.
That one's rather cute there.
Yes. This is, in our religion, the aspect of Traveler, your son.
How close does this figure look like a one of the big uns?
This one is very mammalian, and only some of the big uns have some mammalian traits.
Okay.
But it's how close does a Chinese temple lion resemble an actual lion? It's like not that much, but you can see the lion stuff. It's like you could argue that this is like, one of the big ones that you're familiar with, except it does kind of have like a furry mane in the like at the shoulders and maybe fewer legs. But you could see it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good representation. I like it.
They give you they don't bow super deeply. They just bow their heads to you. They bow their heads to your companions, and then they shuffle off.
You know those guys?
Oh, I ran into him on the way into town. I was helped him evacuate for a bit.
Oh, that was nice of you.
When somebody's dangling a kid out of the window and asks you to help catch him, then that's what you do.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, those guys, like you notice this about those guys. Those guys are in shape. They were like really moving, like climbing up things and just full on carrying adults and stuff. Maybe it was just the adrenaline.
Maybe they're secretly ripped.
I mean, they might be. They are like some sort of like religious group, and often, religious groups have some sort of like physical component, like exercise or like Tai Chi or whatever. Could be. You guys continue down the street, and very quickly, unless you look back over there where things are still on fire, you are just kind of in a normal street again. You are moving through a kind of a commercial/residential district. There's some shops and some apartments, but not a lot of people on the streets.
I wouldn't be either.
There is an old lady out there sweeping in front of her shop. She's very wrinkly, and she looks at you guys as you're going by, and she kind of gives you a nod, and then she goes back to sweeping.
Ma'am?
All right, so you guys... Oh, go ahead.
Is there any, like, I don't know, street food of any sort along the way as we pass by?
Yeah, there aren't like any like carts and stuff, but there's like buildings that have like an outside component. Like they, what I'm talking about, like things where like there's a bar and like a big window that you can sit at.
Yeah, I'll see if we can spend some of that cash that we got on the way out of town to grab something to eat or drink.
Okay, yeah,
Probably
definitely. Your options are kind of some very sweet teas or a bunch of different coffee drinks or some like lightly infused waters is basically the first handful of things you find. Food-wise, there's like pastries, like basically chips, or you can get some sandwiches.
Do they have starch sticks?
They do not have starch sticks.
Yes, plain coffee and a muffin, please.
Okay.
I'll get some of that infused water and a sandwich.
Okay.
Same.
Okay.
A coffee and a sandwich.
Yeah. My favorite kind of sandwich. Large. Anything good to like drink?
You can get water with like some flavoring, tea, or coffee.
No artisanal root beers. Water.
No. You can, there are other shops here if you want to like kind of veer off for where you guys are. You can probably find, a soda or something else, but these are kind of the things on this particular stretch.
Right, cool.
Definitely all of these places are less about, like they don't seem very concerned with carrying like a ton of options. They're kind of like very specialized. Like here's a sandwich shop. Here's the handful of sandwiches we make. Here's like what we serve to drink.
Right.
As opposed to, other places that you've been that might have like a big selection of sodas and a big selection of things to eat. Most of these places are pretty small, just kind of like grab lunch or grab a snack kind of places.
That'll work.
Off on the distance, you see Warrant Officer Goldstein pull up. She pokes her head out of her car and waves at you guys.
Wave back.
Ride's here.
They're heading towards her.
Okay. You guys get into the Jeep and get driven out of the city. It'll be a couple hours, I believe, to get back to, or it'll be about an hour to get to where your shuttle's going to pick you up. So if you guys want to say or do anything else while you're in the Jeep.
Oh, I need to get my brain thing done.
Your brain thing?
Yeah, I have to go. I was supposed to get an implant put in.
Dr. Mondragon can do that.
Okay. And I flip out my data pad. Message, who is it? SSC. Hey, plans have changed. Can you upload the files to this directory or whatever?
Sure.
So that our private doctor can deal with this. And it's like an open, unprotected file drop off.
Okay. You get a message pretty much immediately that says, we will send the information to the appropriate parties. Signed, the office of Rand McTavish. So it might not have been directly from her.
Okay.
SSC. You only need one.
You only need one.
All right. You guys drive way outside of the city to basically a field. In the field, there's already your shuttle waiting for you. This is the light shuttle, so it's just for people. And when you get there, the door slides open for you guys to climb in. Warrant Officer Goldstein says, okay, gentlemen. Well, sorry that things went so out of control, but do come back sometime. I promise you this does not happen very often.
Thanks for the hospitality, ma'am.
Of course.
Let's see if we can't stop by next time. We're granted some leave.
Looking forward to it. Then once you're all inside, there's a screen with the face of your pilot, Captain Nick. And
Hi, Captain Nick.
Hello, gentlemen. Heard you've been up to some, or heard you've had some difficulties.
Shenanigans. You know how it goes.
Well, just sit back and relax. We've got a straight flight path back to the headquarters, and good old Alahamayel is watching over us. And, the shuttle starts up, lifts up, takes off. Again, this one has windows. You can actually look out so you can see Warrant Officer Goldstein's Jeep driving off as you guys take off.
Critical Hit is a production of Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC, and is produced and edited by me, Stephen Schleicher. If you have thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, drop us an email at podcast@majorspoilers.com. If you want to discuss Critical Hit with other Critical Hit fans, be sure to join the Major Spoilers Discord. You can join it for free. There's a link in the show notes. Get into that Critical Hit channel. Talk to your heart's content. If you're looking for character sheets, you've got those too. Point your browser to patreon.com/Major Spoilers.
This podcast is copyright 2026 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.